Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Mediachopup podcast. I am your boy Serge, aka Sergerilla, and I'm joined by my brother from another mother, Rick, aka Mr. Nice Guy.
Hi, how are ya? How's it going, man?
That's definitely you, brother. That's definitely you. Man.
Yeah.
So new episode, man. Episode 9, prison movies. What do you think about that?
This was your show. So, what do you think about that? What was your reason? What was your passion? Why did you want to do an episode on prison movies?
Well, prison movies, as you think about it, it's not just really pinholed into just one type of movie. It's pretty wide, So like you can go comedy with prison movies, you can do all different types of things, movies, bioepic, you name it. It's pretty wide. And as I started thinking about all the movies, I realized, man, there's a lot of variety besides the obvious choices. So I figured a lot of great, epically classic movies are in this category. So why not? You dig what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. I'm hearing you. I'm just trying to go live on IG so they can know your video might be at least 1 minute long. All right, cool. Oh, what the hell did I do? I messed that up. See, I can't do nothing. Right, trying to multitask over here.
Definitely,
go ahead.
Definitely, not, man. But yeah, man. So there's so many movies, man, that we can kind of think of. Oh, we got a comment already. Was that?
That was Graham, I think.
Oh, what's up, brother? How you doing? Greetings.
Oh, that's Abby. Yeah.
So let me see. Where do I start, man? I mean, honestly, I was very conflicted, man, in just picking a movie because there's so many.
Froze.
What froze?
I don't know what happened. Oh no, get. I'm sorry, I'm bugging out. Yo, go ahead, man. We're doing too much.
There's so many movies to pick from that I get conflicted because it's not like we're picking the best out of all of them. But I want to talk about something good, right? I want to talk about something that's great and epic and whatnot. So there's so where should I start? How about I name some of the classics, right? That fall into the thing. So like off the top of my head, and if you guys can think of some, I derived a long list, but sometimes your brain don't work in the moment. But off the top of my head, Shawshank Redemption, classic. The Green Mile, classic. Blood In, Blood Out, classic. American Me, classic. And if you haven't seen those movies, definitely take the time to catch those movies because those are all classics. In fact, Shawshank Redemption, I actually saw for the first time in high school. I actually majored in law, and my law teacher was like, listen, you got to watch this movie. It's going to be a part of class, and watch it. Yeah, absolutely. Life is classic. But if you notice that Life, even though it's based about prison, it's a different feel. It's a comedy.
It's a comedy, absolutely.
Exactly. So it's cool that you can have prison movies that are just all over the spectrum. So I watched Shawshank Redemption in law class, and it was dope, man, to watch a classic movie in that environment and then talk about it. Definitely blew my mind, and I enjoyed it so much that I watched it on my own. And it's a long movie. Tim Robbins is in it. What's his name? From Seven. I went blank. My God. My God. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's in it, right? Epic performance, but great story. Great story to tell, So let's get started. So what my first choice is, right? Thank you. Morgan Freeman, correct. My first choice of movie, let me pull it up, right? I decided to go a little abstract on you guys. Great movie nonetheless. It's actually from a book, The Count of Monte Cristo, with Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce, Richard Harris. As a matter of fact, it also has a Henry Cavill, in there, right? I hope I pronounced Superman, a young Superman in that movie. And as I watched it, I didn't realize that was Superman until later on. I was like, oh shit, same guy. But great movie, man. The Count of Monte Cristo. In case you guys don't know the story, in fact, I don't want to mess it up. So the Count of Monte Cristo is an adaptation of Alexander Dumas' tale of the same name. Dantes, a sailor who is falsely accused of treason by his best friend Fernand, who wants Dante's girlfriend Mercedes for himself. Dantes is imprisoned on the island of prison of Chateau d'If for 13 years, where he plots revenge against those who betrayed him. With the help of another prisoner, he escapes the island and proceeds to transform himself into a wealthy Count of Monte Cristo as a part of a plan to exact revenge. So that movie hit me because, like, he was such an innocent guy. He was just so happy. He was so in love. He got engaged and everything. And his friend, who was supposedly his best friend, was supposedly happy for him. But he was really plotting, and he saw an opportunity and basically did him dirty, man. And he ended up going not just to prison. They sent him to an island that basically just for people that they just want to put away. And he was in a cell by himself for a whole year. And the only time he would have someone come in his cell when the guards would come in on his anniversary and whip him with a whip. And basically that was his only sort of kind of just like just speaking to somebody, So then when he started crying for God, oh God, he was like, yeah, you keep doing that, and you see when he comes, see if he comes and saves you. So they were breaking him down, and eventually, from the bottom of the cobblestones on the floor raises up and a head pops out. And he's like terrified, and it turns out to be a prisoner next door who was digging, and he was just like, hey, what's up here? Oh, another cell. Oh, hello. And they start talking, right? And they become friends. And every day he just has to get back to his cell in time for when they give him a plate and they give him a bucket to shit and piss in, right? So as long as he was there to receive those things, they didn't fuck with him. They only came in the cell once a year to whip you. So this guy was a soldier, and they put him away because he knew the exact whereabouts of a treasure, which he never told anybody. So he basically would just talk to him and mentor him, and then he ended up finding out that, oh shit, like I was, they caught me. They set me up, and he realized that, why would they do that? So revenge is what drove him, right? And while they were there, this soldier taught him how to fight with swords and so on and so on. Even though they didn't have swords, they used sticks. But he built them up. He taught him how to read. He made him an educated man. So then finally, when he saw the opportunity, he got out of prison, and he found that treasure, and he became one of the richest men. So you would think, hey, I can live my life now. I've been in prison for 13 years. Why don't I leave that behind me? No, he was still driven to get that revenge, and he kept winning all these people over to that had loyalty with him. Luis Guzman was in that movie, actually, very funny in that movie. But he actually became a count. He paid to become a count. He bought this guy's whole property outright. The guy threatened to shoot him with his guns. And he said, "How about I give you this amount of gold?" And the guy was like, "All yours." So he got everything he wanted when it comes to revenge, and everything was going according to plan. And he ended up finding out that his fiance ended up marrying his best friend, and it tore him apart.
Oh.
But she was like, I know this guy. So he found the way into their life, and he was basically paying all these people around him to make all the cards fall and ruin their lives. And then eventually it came down to a point where he had to make a decision. Is he going to continue with this plan, or is he going to really commit to love with her? And great story. I want to read it instead of just watching the movie because
the book?
Yeah, because usually it's a lot more powerful that way. But epic story, man. And have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I know you told me a couple of times that you really highly recommended it, but I never got around to it. So many movies I got to catch up on. That's why I'm always putting up posts trying to find out what, get the crowd involved and trying to see when some share their passions.
It's hard, man. It's hard to find time to watch everything. But we can definitely slowly but surely make it a point to do that. But yeah, man, add this to your list, man. And if you out there haven't seen that movie, take time to watch it. Really good movie. I saw it 100 times, but definitely epic. So what about you? What about your choice, brother?
I mean, I had a really hard time like when you brought up this topic because it's such a broad topic as usual, right? I was thinking about what aspect do I want to focus on? Do I want to focus about like prison life, or just having prison as being the general landscape? And there was a bunch of movies. I didn't know if I wanted to go with the comedy route or if I wanted to go with something more serious. Okay. So one of the first movies I decided to go with was The Last Castle with Robert Redford.
Oh, hold on. Put that up. The Last Castle.
You was telling me you didn't get a chance to see it. I
I
definitely
did, man.
recommend that.
There's a lot of really big actors in that. Mark Ruffalo, James Gandolfini before he passed away. Robert Redford obviously has a huge, very well respected track record. So I definitely got to catch that movie. So as you were telling me about it, man, I was so interested. Like I got to make time for that.
Yeah, what I found interesting about this movie, because like I live in my own bubble, so I don't know a lot of things in life. So I didn't know that there was like a prison specifically for like military personnel, for like people who commit crimes in the military, and that's what this was.
Hmm.
That's what The Last Castle was. So, short synopsis of this film is that Redford is a really respected general in the military, but he disobeys direct order, and that eventually gets 8 people killed. So he gets taken to this facility, and the character that James Gandolfini plays, he's a huge fan of Robert Redford and his his accomplishments. So he's like really like oogling over him. He's like excited that he's gonna have he's gonna be responsible for this person that he holds to such a high standard.
Mm.
So when they first meet, right, he's showing him all of his.
My bad.
No, good.
Yeah.
That was good. I was using that as a point of reference. I was fine.
Sorry. Let me put it back up.
Yeah, just move to the right so that you half your face ain't gone.
I don't know how to move it to the right.
No, you move your head, like this, like I move myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that way I still talk around it. So what I liked about it was that you have this dynamic between the character played by James Gandolfini and Robert Redford. He really like admires him, and he tries to show off his like in the very beginning, like he's trying to show off his memorabilia of all the war stuff he has. And Robert Redford really takes the jab at him. He's like, anybody who's actually been to war wouldn't keep anything like this. And this guy took that, he took that like, oh shit, I was trying to give you the red carpet treatment, but you're shitting on my dream. So and I'm gonna have to bring you down a notch. So then it creates this really big dynamic, because in this prison, the way it's run by the character played by James Gandolfini, he really demoralizes these guys who are military men. He takes their pride away from them. They're not allowed to do anything that reminds them of being a soldier. So he's diminishing their value. And what Robert Redford does, he turns that place upside down, and he gives them back a little bit of a sense of their pride. He reminds them that they used to be soldiers and that they should still be soldiers. So it's a really good movie. I don't mean, if I say too much more, I'll give up a lot of the plots, but it's really fun. You guys should definitely watch it if you like military films.
I mean, it sounds great, man. I mean, and you had me sold in the beginning, but definitely got to. I actually literally have made a list, a must-watch list, because you can say I'm going to add a movie to it. I literally have a must-watch list. So, for example, Legends of the Fall was one of those movies, and I actually watched it, and we will do a review for it. But I had that on my list, and I knocked it out. So I just had to knock it out in pieces. And I definitely have very strong opinions about that movie, and we will share those. But yeah, definitely, pretty cool story, man. I mean, I definitely want to check it out.
Welcome show.
Let me see. Hey, hello. So next movie, I would say my next choice would be, again, trying to mix it up a little bit. Besides saying the obvious movies, man, I was really, really, really very close to doing Blood In, Blood Out, man, because I remember watching that and it having such a crazy effect on me at that time. It blew my mind. And I actually watched it when it was on VHS, and I had no idea how long that movie was, but great movie. So the movie that I'm actually going to choose, I'm not sure if a lot of you guys have seen it, has Denzel Washington in it. It's based on a true story. The Hurricane. Heard of it?
Heard of it. I've heard of it for sure.
Okay. Do you know the story of Hurricane?
I do not.
Okay, that's fine. So let me see what I have here. Denzel Washington is Reuben Hurricane Carter, a man whose dreams of winning a middleweight boxing title were destroyed when he was arrested along with another man for the murders of 3 people in a New Jersey bar. Wrongfully accused, Carter and John Artis were sentenced to three life terms in prison. Okay, very, very powerful movie. He was a young knucklehead kid who used to get in trouble on the streets for petty crimes, and being where they were from, you kept dealing with the same cops. And there was one cop who, as a kid, he used to, when Denzel was a kid, Reuben Carter was a kid, he was always like catching him up and making sure that he brought him in and called his mom in and whatnot. He didn't like him. He was a white cop and he was racist. And Unfortunately, there was these murders, and Ruben won the title, and he was like happy as can be, and he went to a bar to celebrate, and they just rolled up on him and just basically blamed everything on him, and lied, and he ended up getting 3 life terms, him and his driver, and it was just a young kid who was like starstruck to see him, and he said, "Hey, I'll pay you to drive me to and from this club," and he wasn't getting into any trouble, and he went to prison. And very, very powerful film. Denzel, I don't think anyone could have played this any better. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, Jamie Foxx is great as well. So, like, I've seen Jamie Foxx play roles like this, but like, just give you a little bit that happened in the story. He goes to jail. They try to put him in a prison uniform. By the way, I'm rocking my county jail inmate shirt
Oh,
for
I
this
like
episode.
that.
And Ruben's like, "I'm not a guilty man. I will not put on those clothes." And he's wearing a shirt and tie. That's when he goes to prison. He's wearing that. And they were like, I don't care what you will do that. You belong to us now. He was like, "I will not." All right, then you're gonna go in the hole. And they put him in the hole. And he wasn't eating. He stunk so bad. And basically, to keep his mind sharp, he would just spar in the dark and everything. And he comes out weeks later, and they go, "Oh, are you ready to put on your prison wear?" And he was like, "Nope, I'll go back in." And he goes back in again. And you could tell like he was like super headstrong. And then once the head guard realized that, he goes, "How about you wear these hospital scrubs?" And he was like, "What color are they?" And he was like, "They're beige. They're not orange. They're not like the regular jumpsuits." So they improvised and basically found a way. So Reuben Carter was basically going back and forth with the legal system and losing and losing and losing. And on the side, that was his story. And then there was this kid from the hood who had a lot of brothers and sisters and lived in poverty. And he came across these teachers that were very, very, very impressed with him. What are you laughing at?
No, my sister said, "Pay attention to your friend when I'm sending her the link. She thinks I'm not paying attention to you."
So he so let's see. Let me get back on. So there's this black kid who's very, very, very smart, and his teachers think highly of him, and they realize like he's really in a bad situation. His parents aren't involved at all. They're poor. He has a bunch of brothers and sisters. He can actually do something with his life. So they actually go to the parents and they go, "Listen, no disrespect. We don't want to step in, but we feel like we can offer him opportunities. We would love to take him under our wing, and you would still be his mom and dad, but we want him to get an education, and we'll pay for it." And they didn't want to do it at first because you take it personally, and then they were like, "Go ahead, kid." Kid didn't even know how to read. So they were like, "You don't know how to read? We're going to teach you how to read. You know what? I'm going to take you to a book fair." So they take him to this book fair, and this is just a bunch of people on the street. And they go inside these places, and everyone's like ravaging, looking for books. And he picks a book deep down, and he picks the book up by Reuben Hurricane Carter, his first book to read, right? A very tough read, a biography about how he's been wronged and about his story, about his legal troubles. And he feels like Reuben's talking to him. So he ends up writing, he asked them for permission. We'll call them the step parents, right? Because there was a bunch of them. And he's living with them, and he's like, "Listen, I'm really excited. This guy's story really spoke to me," and they don't want him to get caught up on a guy who's in prison who could be guilty of murder. You don't know if he's guilty of murder, even though he wrote this book. So they said, "All right, write a letter to him." And then Reuben wrote him back, and he was like very humbled and honorable. And he goes, "Listen, I'm honored that you read my book, and I'm honored that you want to help." And he really wanted to help. And he goes back to his step parents and goes, "Listen, I want to be involved. I want to help him. He's an innocent man. I know it. So to support him, since some of them were lawyers, they end up putting up a group to reinvestigate what put him in there. And they ended up finding out all these little holes in the story. And then once these people started finding out that they were digging into the case, then that's when the death threats started coming. And ultimately, they helped him get out of prison. And he gets out of prison, and he gets out of prison with that young kid standing by his side. And think about it, if that kid didn't grab his book, he wouldn't have found the right people to help him get out. He did all these years in prison, and it's a very powerful movie. Figured it was great because it's a prison story. And yeah, that's why I chose that.
Yeah, Kyle says that's one of Denzel's best performances.
Yeah, definitely.
And your lady says, "I love you, sir." You should probably put that. You should probably put that up there. Highlight that little comment. It's deserving of a highlight.
I love you too, baby.
Yeah, and who said something about the platform? I just looked it up while you guys posted it. That looks really really interesting. I just saw the poster. I don't know much about it, but it looks like a pretty cool concept in reference to prison movies.
Oh, you see this at
Yeah, if you could pull up the trailer for the platform, I'm curious. I want to see what that's about.
the platform.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just trying to go through some of these comments really quick. Yeah, so yeah, that actually looks really, really interesting. I think for Fernando put that comment up. He said the platform. Check out the platform on Netflix. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. It
Okay.
looks interesting. Did you see the thing?
I'm looking it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
I'm looking it up right now.
All right, cool.
The platform.
It looks sick. Is it a foreign film? Again, for those of you who are watching on Facebook, like when we play these trailers, like this is the only time you're gonna get to watch it with us. When it gets put into the YouTube platform, it gets taken out because of copyright laws and stuff like that. So only time you get to share these experiences with us is on Facebook. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Exclusive. Exclusive.
Yeah. And like thanks for being a part of it, man. You guys bring up some really, really great movies. I've had some really great experiences watching some of your recommendations, man.
Yeah, I'll read off some of your comments because some of you guys have said some movies while I was talking. But
could you imagine a prison where you leave it up to the prisoners to decipher who gets what food is left over level by level? The people on the bottom are never going to eat. So I imagine that the crimes are level based.
Listen, that looked deep, man. That definitely looked deep. I want to know how you found that show. Very, very, very abstract.
No, that was for Fernando. He just recommended it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you stumble on these shows. Like for example, I stumbled on the show The Outsider, But like I'm just curious how you found that show because I haven't heard of it.
Right.
And is the whole thing in Spanish or did I pick just a Spanish trailer?
No, I think it's a Spanish movie.
But yeah, definitely very, very abstract and very demented. But yeah, that looks cool. I'll check it out. Let's see. We got Shot Caller, Unbroken, Escape from Alcatraz, all great movies. Escape from Alcatraz, I mentioned today with the late great Sean Connery.
Okay.
All right, that was a great movie. I enjoyed that movie. Mega blockbuster when what's his name? Nicolas Cage was on top of the world when he's making
way back when
5 movies every second.
Now he's just making lemons.
I mean, listen, man. I mean, I still like him. I like his taste in movies. He's contributed a lot of great action movies. Con Air is another friggin' prison movie.
That was one of the movies I was gonna go with also. Con Air, I really enjoyed that.
It was a good movie. And then yeah, definitely. Let me see what else we got here. Anybody else? Prison Break is a good show, very good. Some really good shows. Prison Break, those are shows I was trying to stay away from, but Prison Break. Oz, I think Oz is on the top of the spectrum for prison.
Oh man, yeah, man. They talk about all the lifestyle, the whole sexual stuff. That was the psychology behind it. Yeah,
people weren't ready for that, and
no, man. But that's what makes it successful, though.
HBO has been like pioneers in really epic shows. A lot of their shows are just really, really top notch. And Oz definitely was, and it lasted forever. And everyone and their mother wanted in on that show. So great show. Prison Break, of course. I loved Prison Break because Prison Break it showed how much of a thinker he was, and how he predicted so much just to get his brother out. That was a great story. Anybody else? Yeah, that's basically it. I'm just from reading the comments.
Yeah, man.
What about you? What about your second option?
For the second choice, I actually went with A Law-Abiding Citizen. I really, really enjoyed that movie, man. Law-Abiding Citizen was awesome, man. I try to put myself in that situation with Law-Abiding Citizen. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Right there.
Solid performances from both actors, Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler.
Let me ask you a question. Gerard Butler, Law-Abiding Citizen, did that come out before his mega hit movie? Spartan. Wait, he was a Spartan.
Oh, I think so. Way before that. Fun.
Okay,
I could be wrong. Let me just check that really quick. Oh, abiding
I I,
citizen.
I
It's
watched.
2009. No, actually, I don't think it did. That's 2009 and 300 was no. It came out after actually. Yep, it came out after
Came out
300.
after, right? So
Yeah,
I can tell you this: when I watched this movie, I didn't know anything about it, and it definitely uh surprised me for
Mhm.
the better. Like I didn't. There's a lot of things that kind of just pop up on you. You know, he appears to be a very clean cut guy that just loves his family. He just wants the right thing to be done. You know?
Yeah. Somebody's asking what I thought about Escape with Sylvester Stallone. I enjoyed the concept. The movie was really good. I don't think it was a great movie, but I really like the concept of him going undercover and going into the jails just to try to figure out if they're escape proof or not. And I like how they used Sylvester Stallone, well, the character he plays, to try to like they try to build the perfect prison basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was a different concept. I didn't see the second one. I've seen the first one. It
yeah.
was right. Solid performance
I
from 50 Cents.
I can tell you this. Instead of Prison Break, because I'm a huge fan of Sylvester Stallone. Um, I gotta say I love Tango and Cash
Mhm.
and was it Prison Break? There was another movie that he had. It was another prison based movie.
Someone wrote Lockup with
Lock
Sylvester
Up,
Stallone.
Lock Up, Lock Up. Great movie. Great movie. Man, I've truly enjoyed it at that time. So that I think those movies are on top of Escape Plan. Wasn't Arnold in Escape Plan?
I don't know.
I think it was Sylvester and Arnold. No, am I mixing up the movies?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember Arnold being there. It's possible. It's possible. Oh yeah, I think he had a role at the end. I think he helped
Yeah,
him get out, helped him escape. Yeah, I think it was his prison or something. That was a while ago. I seen it once.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up. Oh, but yeah,
Oh, I didn't see Hunger actually. I actually wanted to check Hunger out. Somebody
Hunger,
mentioned Hunger.
Hunger.
Yeah.
Let me check that out. Hold on.
Mhm. While you check it out, I'll talk more about law-abiding citizen, man. What
Okay.
I liked about that is I could see myself in that situation. I just thought it was really genius how, it showed how someone can be so patient to plan out vengeance the way he did, man. He had to watch his wife and his daughter get murdered,
Mm,
and then watched how the law bend over backwards to help the criminals in error in order to,
broken system. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it was all about fixing the broken system, right? He was like, he wanted to teach him a lesson. You don't negotiate with bad guys, plain and simple. So he took 10 years to create himself an empire and this elaborate plan to show them a lesson, man. And like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it because it's a movie that has an awesome plot twist, and it's something where you're wondering, how is he committing these crimes, but the reveal is worth it, man. You're like, wow, that's elaborate, man.
Someone wrote a while back, does The Rock count as a prison movie? Yeah, definitely it does. It takes place. What the beauty about this is that it doesn't have to be the whole premise of the movie. Some movies show somebody come out of prison, or you could see how it had a big impression on their lives, and then the rest of their story may be how they're trying to fit in on the outside world. Now all of a sudden they get thrown back into reality and they don't know how to live outside of prison, and it's a sad truth. Like sometimes, like in Shawshank, you saw Brooks, the old man. He got out, and before he went out on parole, he took a knife to someone's throat because he was terrified. That when he came out, he wouldn't know the real world. He's been
Yeah,
his whole life, most of his life is in prison, and he's used to the waking up at a certain time and being told when to eat and being told when to go to sleep. So if he was terrified of that, and
that's the
unfortunately.
first time I was exposed to the concept of being institutionalized.
And it blew my mind when he did what he did. You know,
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't want
without spoiling the
to.
movie.
I don't
He
want to.
just spent most of his life in jail. And he didn't. He. The world changed so much. You go from being inside a wall. You have his life for however many years he did. I want to say he spent most of his life in jail. And when he came out, you have the advent of cars. There weren't cars when he went in.
That's crazy, man. That's it.
The world is moving so fast. It's just so crazy.
Definitely, definitely. Gillette wrote South Central. Oh man, I haven't seen that movie in so long. South Central. But yeah, definitely. Good movie. Gillette also wrote Banshee. There's a lot
Right.
of the scenes in there. You know,
And no, I haven't seen Lockout. Show said her fiance asked about Lockout. I don't think I've seen Lockout. What's in Lockout?
yeah. Let's see. Let's check out Lockout.
Yeah, take a good look at that real quick. Lockout. Oh wow, who is that? The
Look at
cast. Who's in this? Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce. I'm a fan of Guy Pearce's with uh certain scenarios. He annoys me. But like I'm a fan of his. Obviously, he's in the movie that I mentioned earlier, The Count of Monte Cristo. He plays a very good bad guy.
Okay.
But I've never heard of that movie.
Oh,
Oh, look,
yeah.
my sister's here. Hey, what's up? What's up, sister?
Just, check
So
out what's up.
so Dead Man Walking. I did see that. That's with The Rock, right? Uh, hold on 1 second. Someone sent me something. So yeah, man, I can talk forever about these movies. Like for some reason, like again, a lot of these movies I was watching on VHS, and I think the beauty about that time was I would go to the video store and I would just stare at the shelves and
Mm.
look for jewels because everyone was going to the newest movies. I didn't need to see the newest movies. I would look out there and be like, what do we got here? What do we got here? And I would, and a lot of times I'll find some really good jewels. And like I truly enjoyed Lockup. I truly enjoyed Tango and Cash. Oh man, that had Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone, and there were cops that they got set up, and then now they're trying to survive in prison against all those people they put away. Really, really, really good story, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's a throwback. Something I have to watch again.
Oh yeah, I see my sister. She sent me Escape. It had your boy, yeah, Arnold's in there. Arnold's in Escape. With Sylvester Stallone, and then in Escape 2, it had Batista in there. I believe it's Batista, and then I don't know why they keep making Escape movies. Are they that good?
I have no idea.
I think I watched half of the first one. I was like, okay, I'm over it.
No, it was a solid concept. I enjoyed it. I like the idea more than the actual, execution. It was solid.
Do you know if that was Sylvester Stallone's writings, any of his writings, or
I think it was a Sylvester Stallone movie.
I give him credit, man. Like, listen, he finds gaps and stories. Hey, that hasn't been touched. Let me do that. Think about it. The Expendables. The Expendables is a movie with all these action stars. You know what? I can make a movie with all of them. I don't need just one. I don't need just two. I'm gonna make all of them. I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna make it great. And it was funny, and it was a little bit of everything. And people enjoyed seeing all these stars.
Right.
Sometimes some stars aren't. They you lose a lot of what they offer. Like for example, Jet Li with all these people, right? Or what's his name? Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Norris. You kind of lose if they're not funny and if they're not like outspoken. You kind of lose what they offer amongst all these stars. You had Terry Crews, he was hilarious. Who else was in that movie? Expendables.
I think everybody, man, everybody who's an action star in the 80s and 90s was in it.
Dolph Lundgren, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's see. Which movie?
He was talking about Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, with Morgan Freeman, absolutely. Oh, Shawshank Redemption right here.
I think that's at the top of almost anybody's movie list, man. That movie, I mean, I watched it late. I didn't catch it till about, I want to say like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was bored.
Gillette made a very, very good point. I was thinking about that earlier. I forgot to mention it. So again, prison environment, but it ends up going into comedy. It's actually a remake, but the Longest Yard with Adam Sandler,
absolutely,
Terry Crews. He has so many stars in that movie. That movie was so funny. But I don't know if you've seen the original. I've seen the original with Burt Reynolds, and that movie is just as good. It's really, 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 really good. So I caught both of them. I remember watching The Longest Yard when it came out, and my boy said, why don't you watch the original first before you do that?
Mhm.
And I did that, and I was like, man, that was great. He also put me onto a movie called Cool Hand Luke. Classic.
Oh, I heard a Cool Hand Luke. I gotta watch that because that
Yo,
thing has fantastic ratings.
great movie. That actually is a prison movie, but it's an old
Mhm.
school movie. But I enjoyed that story, man. I feel like watching it again. But yeah,
Someone wrote, "Are POW movies considered prison movies?" I don't know what a POW movie is. Let me
movies.
PO. Oh, Prisoners of War. All right, got you. Of course,
Uh,
absolutely, absolutely.
it's loosely connected. Absolutely. It could be. The
I mean,
cool.
that's exactly what my movie was. A castle, the last castle. Those are well, they're not exactly prisoners of war, but they're criminals from the. I mean, it has to do with the army. It's a prison-based prisoner with it's a form of imprisonment.
I mean, in Rambo, he was saving people that were trapped from over enemy lines, and he had to go in there. Yeah, definitely, he's going into shit to try to save these guys. Absolutely, it's just another version of that. You can even make the I was gonna say that funny
Eh,
movie. No, I was trying to compare another movie to it. So what's that movie with Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Like they were like that. They went into an enemy camp. That's all I was thinking about, right? And they captured Ben Stiller, and then they made him do that one of his act movies that he did, where he was playing someone who was special needs, which is a big reason where Ben Stiller got in trouble, because it was like horrible. And it was horrible acting on purpose, but it was a funny story. I was just trying to compare it to being trapped over enemy lines.
Right.
But yeah, definitely sky's the limit. CB4. I've never seen CB4.
That's Chris Rock, man.
I know it's Chris Rock. I gotta see. He wrote Simple John. Simple John. But yeah, man, great movies, man.
Wait, a Simple John, a movie? He's talking about Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
Simple Jack. Yeah, I think he's talking about Simple Jack.
I was doing a search for Simple John. I'm like, what the hell is Simple John?
What about Juvenile Detention? Absolutely, that's just another rendition of it. Juvenile Detention, Gridiron Gang with the Rock. I got one even better for you. Sleepers. Juvenile
I've seen that.
Detention.
Yeah.
Great movie. So many. Brad Pitt, Dustin Hoffman, Kevin Bacon, so many people, Minnie Driver, so many classics. That movie, if you haven't seen that movie, let me remove this thing. Where'd it go? That movie was an epic movie because it showed these kids who were, just lived in New York City. They live in Hell's Kitchen, and they were just always just getting in trouble, like robbing. They always kept plotting on robbing the hot dog guy. So what they would do is, he was a hardworking man. It was like 100 degrees in the summer, and they would have someone go to get a hot dog and then run. And he had to make a decision in that split second. Am I going to chase him so I can try to get that money or get that hot dog that he stole, or am I going to stay with my stuff? So when with his cart. So then when he decided to chase after him, then his buddies all rampaged there and just ate all the hot dogs while he was running, and that guy would not let it go. And then unfortunately, they were trying to find a way to get their buddy free from this guy chasing him because he wouldn't stop. So they figured by putting the hot dog cart on the edge of the stairs will cause him to say, I got to save this. So the guy didn't choose. He was going after the kid. The hot dog cart went down the stairs, and it actually landed on someone and killed somebody. And then they all had to go to juvenile detention, and they just all endured hell. And then they become grown-ups. It's a great story.
Yeah, I just had to blow somebody's spot up because they kind of broke my heart. Showcast, how dare you say Tropic Thunder was lame? No, somebody wrote Tropic Thunder was lame.
You are bugging.
How do you? I mean, granted, everybody's had their own preference, but I thought Tropic Thunder was universally loved.
It depends because it got a lot of backlash.
Yeah, but what I loved about it was that they didn't in the trailer. You never saw Tom Cruise. They didn't use his star power to push the movie, so his character caught you by surprise. Les Grossman, when he plays Les Grossman,
that was epic, and he really embraced that role of just being a fat, powerful guy, and he goes off when he's on the phone and he's talking with the terrorists, and he's like, "Listen to me!" Like he's going off.
Universally
And
trash.
then, you know what? What's his name was also too. Was great too. His lawyer, Matthew McConaughey, where he was
Yeah.
like, "Listen to me. I work this in the contract. I'm gonna get you your TiVo. You're gonna get that TiVo." How do you not love that guy? How do you not love?
Yeah. He said, "You want me to sell my agent for a G5? A G5 airplane?"
Yeah, I love Matthew McConaughey. But listen, that movie was great, not because it wasn't playing a role straight up. It was
Mm.
very comedic. So everybody had like a little twist to them. Jack Black, with even though there was a lot of funny things that were going on in that movie, Jack Black was like he was addicted to drugs, and then he had to get weaned off the drugs, and he was just searching, and he was willing to say anything for the drugs, and so much funny things. Robert Downey Jr. I mean, to me, epic performance because like he really, he really, he really portrayed a black guy in the way he spoke, and he wasn't doing it to make fun of anybody, but it was funny because it was a white guy playing a black guy, and then the other black guy was like, "How dare you play a black guy? You're not black," and he was like, "I'm blacker than you," like great movie, great movie. You got to definitely
Yeah.
check.
Thomas mentioned the night of. I've never seen it or heard of it, but I just checked the website and the trailer. The guy who's the main character actually was the bad guy in Venom, and I hated the way he acted in Venom. So I'm hoping that he's much better in this one. And I don't know if acted is a word.
What movie? The night
I
of.
put it. I put it in. It's a link right here. See if you go to mediachopup right here in the comments. I clicked it. I put the link on this so you can check it out. So it's definitely something worth checking out. For sure.
Oh, there you go. Right there. HBO The Night of. HBO.
Yeah.
Let me check it out.
Yeah, I wonder what it's about. Share it with us. I want to see.
You want me to find a YouTube?
Yeah, or just you can just put that tab in there and play the trailer. Find out what Riz Ahmad. I guess that's his name. Yeah. It's an 8-part series. Like I don't know how he acts in other movies, but I hated his performance in the Venom movie. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good role for him. It was his performance is trash. I hate it. I hated his face. I was like, ugh.
This is from 2016.
Yeah.
Gotta admit something. You guys are pissing me off. You guys are pissing me off because you're making me have to watch more stuff. Okay, you're bringing good suggestions, and now I gotta watch it. And you know what's funny? I noticed observation about Thomas. Thomas, he plays like, oh, I don't really watch a lot of TV. I don't really know about that. He's like, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? This guy is a secret TV watcher. Watch him.
Secret TV watcher.
He watches in the closet, like.
It's a secret TV watcher. Somebody wrote Riz Ahmad is great in Nightcrawler. I don't remember him in Nightcrawler. I gotta watch that again. I enjoyed Nightcrawler. That was a different role for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie. Jake Gyllenhaal stole the show, obviously, on that movie. He played it very well, but he was actually the guy he hired, and he was like teaching him how to be.
He had the other news reporting thing. The other agency.
Driving with him, and he was like, make me an offer. How much you think you should make? And then like he shot a number and then realized, oh shit, I should have went for higher. And he was like, oh, I would have gave you more, but too late. I already agreed. But he was like, that was a really good movie. Yeah, absolutely. But definitely different type of role for him.
Yeah.
But definitely, he said, yeah, assistant to Jake. I love movies, Gillette. Definitely. So yeah, man. So if you guys got any other suggestions, you got any honorable mentions, man?
What was I thinking about? No, we mentioned them. I think Shawshank.
Oh, okay. No, I think you told me about one of your honorable mentions. You don't remember it?
No, I don't. What was it? Oh yeah, Just Mercy. I forgot about that one. I lost my notes. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Jamie Foxx was excellent. Michael B. Jordan was great in that. I saw that not too long ago. I heard good things about it. Jamie Foxx, man, always does a very powerful performance. Really
not always.
I think he's a very good actor. Listen, every actor is allowed some those sideways movies, but like for
I
example,
watch Sleepless and let me know how you feel about that.
I couldn't watch it.
Uh,
I watched the beginning of it 3 times, and I was like, I can't make it through the beginning. I'm not going to make it through this movie. But nonetheless, in a lot of movies, in the soloist, in I don't know, I got to pull up his movies, but he and obviously your movie that you mentioned, Law Abiding Citizen, he was awesome. You know.
yeah,
Also, to backtrack, I mentioned Ruben Hurricane Carter. This is Denzel playing him right here, and also he wrote a couple books. The 16th Round, the Hurricane was his nickname. You know, a
yeah.
very powerful story. I just figured I thought I'd share that. But definitely.
Yeah.
Any other recommendations, guys?
I don't know. My son says, "Why am I in jail?" You know, I'm not in jail. I'm in the room next door, baby. I'm in the room next door.
Bro, it looks like you're in prison.
Uh,
Honestly, I like this background better than the other background you use.
well, you would. You chose it.
Listen, if I had a more powerful camera, I would have done the same thing, but it's okay.
No, it's not the camera, man. It's just the green screen.
I know. I tried the green screen. The green screen don't like me.
Orange and the New Black was solid. I never seen it, but I heard nothing but great things about that. Man.
Orange to Black was great, but as it got towards the end, it got really watery, and like sometimes you question where they were going with the show, and
Yeah.
sometimes the whole season would pass and not much really happened. You know, I wasn't 100% satisfied with the ending, but it was a good show. It's definitely a good show. Nice twist. I was watching an Australian show that did really good. It's also on Netflix. I don't remember the name of it, but it actually kind of it came out before Orange is the New Black, and it was about a woman's prison, and it showed a lot of the mental games that were going on between the prisoners and the warden and the officers, and it's a really good story. They just talk with these accents, but you get used to it after a while.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you could be locked up with any actor, who would you be locked up with?
What
was that face? What was that?
It was a weird question, but maybe
you're doing 20 years, bro. You gotta have a roommate. Who's it gonna be?
Roommate? You gotta say Denzel, bro.
All right, now here's the kicker. You gotta have sex with him now. Is he gonna be Denzel still?
Fuck you, man. Get out of here.
You locked up for 20 years.
Why you walk me into this? I have a more stimulating question, and then you want to talk to me about being locked up and being buddy with somebody.
Okay, it's about the psychology behind being locked up, right? Like, if I did 20 years in jail, right? I wonder how I would handle that. No, like, not all jokes aside, like, what do you do with the sexual component, right? Do you go that route? Do you psych yourself out and say, a hole is a hole? Like how do people make that adjustment?
Well, I actually wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Do you think you have what it takes to survive in prison?
That's that's
a
part of it.
What do you think is needed? Because a lot of it, I mean, listen, I know people that have been in prison. I've never been in prison. I don't ever want to go to prison. I don't think I don't think I have. Listen, we can all survive in different scenarios, and sometimes you have to become a different person to survive, right? Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people. Oh, Oz! I forgot. I mentioned Oz was an amazing prison show. Sorry, it just popped in my head. Epic, right? Sometimes you gotta kind of like mentally put that stuff away, and then when you survive in prison, and when you get out, you go back to being normal. But gangs, then you're forced to be in a gang. Like, think about it, right? I'm a Puerto Rican and I barely speak Spanish, right? So then now everybody's really segregated, right? You have the whites, you have the blacks, you have to survive, right? But I don't speak Spanish. So how do I fit in with my own kind in prison? So a lot of them have to communicate in Spanish so others don't know what they're saying, right? But how would I fare? Now you put in certain scenarios, and it's terrifying to me.
I
But
like I like what Eddie says, man. If you was locked up with Denzel, Denzel drops his pants and says, "King Kong ain't got nothing on me."
you could recite 1 million of his lines, and then I'm a cool hand Luke his ass.
You gonna give him a reach around?
No,
He's a
no.
cool hand Luke.
That's like you obviously didn't watch the movie, but okay,
No,
whatever.
I didn't.
Okay, only you would turn it into something else. Or cool.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean it literally weirdo, but yeah, your ass ain't making it in prison for damn sure. Okay.
I'm gonna be somebody's bitch straight up. I think I mean, oh, he funny. He funny. He cute. Come here.
In watching the show Oz, did you watch the entirety of the show?
No, I actually never watched a full episode. I've watched like pieces, bits and pieces.
What?
Yeah.
That show is it's so good on many 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 levels, man, and they touch on a lot of different things. But the reason I bring it up is you see these different people, right? And they have all these different backstories, and you see how prison is separated, and there's a lot of drugs out there, and there's certain prison guards who are corrupt, and they're helping them smuggle certain things. But there was this guy who was a lawyer, very, very,
Mm.
very smart, prestigious life. He had 2 kids that he adored, and he gets into a car accident, and because he gets drunk, and he kills the 2 kids. I mean, he kills somebody, and he has to do time for that. So then now he's one of the softest guys. There's nothing tough about this guy, and now he has to make it there. And then he was white, and then the white brother came up on him and was like, "Listen, you want to survive? Well, you're gonna have to be my bitch. You're gonna have to wear lipstick. And you're gonna have." And he didn't want to do it, but he didn't want to get he didn't want to get killed, and he didn't want to get hurt. So he became that person he didn't want to become. And in order to help better cope with becoming that person, he had to get high. And
wow.
he got super high, and then the guy who was in charge of him basically didn't like him getting high, but he still got high anyway. And it got to a point where he found his balls and then found ways to go back at him, and then they became big enemies against each other. It's a great story, but it's a real truth of what goes on in prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody was saying.
Level of mental conditioning that happens from being incarcerated is unimaginable unless experience. Consider the documentary films about prison as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned The Green Mile, man. That is one of my favorites, man.
I need you to give me a Green Mile impression, please.
Oh, my name is John Coffee. Spelled like the drink. No, sounds like the drink, but different. Rest in peace, man.
Yes. Michael Clark Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, he was great.
Yeah, like any movie that has to do with being wrongfully incarcerated always gets me, man. It has The Green Mile. You got Just Mercy. You have Shawshank. Wait, was he wrongfully? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was wrongfully incarcerated, or he was drunk or something.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
No, I just say I love movies like that where you have to fight for your freedom, where you didn't do it. Even in American History X. You seen American?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he was locked up with the black kid. What's his name?
I don't know his name. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah,
he's
and he asked him what he did. He asked him what he did. He said that he dropped the TV on the cop's foot, and they said that he threw it at him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Come on, be honest with me. You chucked it at him, right?" He said, "I told you, I tripped and it fell." So he got more time than he was supposed to. So it's kind of messed up, man.
It is messed up. That was a great movie, man. That's definitely a good choice too.
I like Tom. I tried to take it away, boss.
I remember a while ago you did one of those impressions, and I started dying. It was definitely hilarious. Someone wrote, "Shit, if I had to hold a pocket, it better be soft." Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. So I think we covered the topic enough. Does anyone else have anything else to add? But there's a lot of great movies that people have recommended, man. There's even more than I even thought of. I mean, are there any fans of Blood In, Blood Out or American Me? Yeah. One of my favorite scenes in American Me, without giving too much, where I see someone. I'll read that in a second. Was when the guy who was the boss in prison, people started questioning his ability to lead, and he started making the wrong decisions. Certain things got complicated, but he stood by what his decisions. then basically they decided to kill him so someone else can become in charge. And he realized he was outmanned, and and his end was coming soon. So they approached him and his boys in their cell. They had to stay in their cell in order to be safe, because once they left that cell, anything could happen anytime, and they knew that. So when they approached the first cell with him, his boys, they were like, "You guys coming out?" And they're like, "Nah, I'm good, staying right here." And then when they went to his cell, they said, "You coming out?" And he knew what that meant, and he said, "Yep, I'm coming out." And they were like, "Whoa, like this guy he's the real deal. He's fearless." And he went out there and he hit his demise. And epic movie, American Me.
Yeah,
John
absolutely.
Edward Almost, I think that's his name. Yeah, definitely. If you Blood In, Blood Out, absolutely great movie. That movie's like 5 days old. I mean, 5 days long. It's so long. It's so long. I watched that when I was like 18 years old. I remember that, and I was like, "Damn, how long is this damn movie? This shit is long."
Yeah.
But really good one. There's a good movie on Hulu called Clemency, where Aldous Lodge on death row. Good movie. I haven't heard of it. I don't really watch a lot of Hulu comments, a lot of stuff. One of my, I think, was it on Hulu? Yeah, one of my favorite shows from Hulu, and I think might have been the only one that I've seen from Hulu, is an MMA show that Netflix ended up checking out and adopting. And I really, really, really hope that they continue the story, because it went a bunch of seasons. An MMA movie called Kingdom. Woo! Powerful, powerful, powerful show. Great acting. It went like at least 4 seasons, I think. But I think it left it open for another season, and they're thinking that that Netflix will have a script to continue it on. But it was really, really popular. It went on for a long time. Yeah, Wentworth. I was mentioning that earlier. Wentworth was a good show. Women's prison. It's an Australian show, and it's been very, very popular overseas and over here. So if you have time, check it out. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Again, if you guys are part of the Facebook group, man, put your recommendations up there. We definitely watch them. We'll give you guys reviews. We're going to be doing different things every once in a while. We're going to be doing stuff that are exclusive to the group also. So if you guys want to be a part of that, definitely join us on our Facebook group. The link is always in the description of all our videos. So definitely check it out.
So yeah, man. So I guess that's a wrap. I appreciate all you guys for being involved and giving us all the added movies and participating. It's dope, man. It's dope to be part of this medium. It's dope to hear you guys. It's dope to share my passions about movies and shows with you guys, So thank you guys. Thank you in many ways in the group and so on.
I got you. I got you with the one with Hugh Jackman. I'll definitely check it out. We still have to do what was it? What was the movie?
Legends of the
we have to do that one, and I have to watch the review. I definitely got to check it out. I got to be in the mood for some of these movies. Also, that's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. And then,
but I got you. The circus one, I forgot, but I got you.
We work midnights, so sometimes you just gotta find time to fit time for these movies, And
yeah,
you can't be tired when you're watching these movies either. It's a lot.
Yeah, I try to watch this like late night.
They really require a lot of attention. Just like when you were binge watching
Game of Thrones.
And then Game of Thrones started watching you back.
Yeah. I had to go back 2 episodes one time.
That meme that your wife made of you was great.
You remember that?
When Game of Thrones watches you back, and you was just like, you had headphones on and everything. Awesome. Definitely. So, all right, guys. Thank you. Until our next episode, we'll let you know what the next episode is about. I guess we'll hear from you guys in the room. Always remember, do what you love
and love what you do, man. Thanks for sharing our passion with us, man.
Absolutely. Peace out, y'all. Take it easy.
Deuces.